Hey everybody, welcome. It's time for Sunday school, social distancing Sunday school. Gather everybody around, come on in, have a seat, get comfy. We're going to talk a little bit today. So I just wanted to check in with you guys. How's it going? We're another week into the quarantine here. Myself, I took the weekend off to go camping, and I don't know if you guys can tell in the video, I got a little sun this week. I'm a little sunburned. So I just spent some time outdoors, just spent some time really relaxing and taking a weekend off. And so when I got home and I decided to make a video for Sunday school this week, I was looking at the lectionary. So for those of you who maybe don't know what the lectionary is, it's kind of a list of suggested Bible passages for each Sunday of the year. It actually takes a course of 3 years to go through the full lectionary, but lectionary kind of takes you through the Bible, and it usually includes a psalm and a couple of different passages from the Bible, like a gospel reading usually, and then another reading. So for this week, the lectionary suggested psalm for this week is Psalm 23. And the 23rd psalm is one that you may have heard before because it's really famous and a lot of people will memorize it. So that's what I want you to do with me this week, is to memorize the 23rd psalm, and then we'll talk about it just a little bit. So I'm going to read it to you. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside still waters. He restores my soul. He leads me in right paths for his name's sake. Even though I walk through the darkest valley, I fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil. My cup overflows. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I shall dwell in the house of the Lord my whole life long. So I'm going to read that to you one more time. And I'm going to go kind of slow, so I want you to make sure that you listen and pay attention to each of the words. And maybe if you want to, you can think about which word really hits you. If there's a word that really sticks in your mind, try to remember that. So I'm going to read it one more time really slowly. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside still waters. He restores my soul. He leads me in right paths for his name's sake. Even though I walk through the darkest valley, I fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil. My cup overflows. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I shall dwell in the house of the Lord my whole life long. So we're going to kind of break this down a little bit and maybe just have a little bit of discussion. And if you want to continue the discussion down here in the comment section, I encourage you to do that. So the first line is, the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. What do you guys think that means, that for the Lord is my shepherd? The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. That sounds to me like that as long as I have God, there's really nothing that I'm without. The Lord God is going to take care of me and be my shepherd. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside still waters. That's probably my favorite part because it's a reminder to lie down in a green pasture, to go to the still waters. It's this very serene, calming. It kind of evokes this image of sort of a nice pasture with a nice, clear, cool pond or lake. He restores my soul. That's a great line. So there are these times when we just lie down in a green pasture and we lie by, He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside still waters. He restores my soul. So those actions of laying down in a green pasture and laying by still waters, that is something that for me restores my soul. So what does that make you guys think of? You know, what's the image in your head when you think of lying down in green pastures and being led beside still waters? He leads me in right paths for his name's sake. So that means that God is going to lead us in the right direction, in the direction that he would have us go to follow him and his will. Even though I walk through the darkest valley, you know, we might be in some places that are scary. We may have things that happen to us that are scary. But even though we often go through dark times, I fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. So that's a reference back to the shepherd imagery, as God as the shepherd. That's a comforting thing. The staff of the shepherd would be perhaps of a comfort to the sheep, because the sheep know that the shepherd is protecting them with his staff and guiding them and leading them in the right ways. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. So even when we're among enemies, even when we're among people who don't like us, or even when we're in difficult times, the Lord is still with us. And then it says, you anoint my head with oil, my cup overflows. My cup overflows. What does that mean? My cup overflows. I have this overflowing cup of love and strength. And I don't know, what does that mean to you guys? What do you think it means that it says my cup overflows? What do you guys think? Okay. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I shall dwell in the house of the Lord my whole life long. So in just the previous line, he was saying that God prepares a table for us in the presence of our enemies. And then he says, goodness and mercy shall follow me all my days, all of my life. So goodness and mercy, those are things that we're supposed to act out, the way we're supposed to treat others with goodness and kindness and mercy. Those are the things that are supposed to follow us around. And I shall dwell in the house of the Lord my whole life long. So I'm going to read this one more time, and I hope that it's the 23rd Psalm, and this is one that I hope you do memorize, because it's a good one to remember. And all of these different things, it's all good things to remember. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside still waters. He restores my soul. He leads me in right paths for his name's sake. Even though I walk through the darkest valley, I fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil. My cup overflows. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I shall dwell in the house of the Lord my whole life long. Thanks, guys. Thanks for joining me this week, and I hope that you can discuss and maybe read this with your family and maybe talk about each of those lines and what those lines mean to you, what they represent to you. Maybe you can talk about which of those lines kind of stands out to you, which one is your favorite, what's your favorite part of that passage. And if you want to discuss that with your family at home, that's super. Or you can, leave your comments down below, and I'll be sure and read those. I'm always happy to hear from you guys. So thanks for joining me. Have a great week. I'll see you next time. Bye, guys. Thanks a lot.